Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. It's still the 29th, but this might not upload till tomorrow. It's still June. It's still 2020. And I just interacted with a few more people today, and it reminded me of somebody. For some reason, I know you can, I know pretty much everyone can relate to this. In the 50 plus years I've been alive, I've noticed that arrogance, people that are arrogant or rude, are usually people that are very smart, very wealthy, very attractive, in incredible physical condition, or have a very powerful position in life. Those are usually the people that you would expect to be rude or arrogant. It still makes him an absolute asshole, but you can kind of expect it. You know, I'm so smart, I'm so beautiful, I'm so powerful that I feel that I can be rude or arrogant. Well, I have to deal with somebody all the time who is rude and arrogant, but none of those things. Not smart, not wealthy, not in physical condition of any type at all, not attractive, not personable, and yet they find it acceptable to be rude and arrogant, which to me makes them an imbecile. It is what it is. I try to deal with this person as minimal as possible. For instance, somebody that will treat somebody a certain way, knowing they can get away with it because somebody else, there's a third party involved whose feelings don't want to get hurt or something to that effect. Someone that'll treat someone else like an asshole because they know they can get away with it because of somebody else is basically a piece of shit. You know what I mean? And I know somebody like that. But I also have people like that in my regular life, and it makes no sense. We live in a world now where people are so entitled and arrogant. You know, the selfies. Well, Richie, you're on video. Yeah? If I wasn't on video, all you'd hear is my voice and it would be a podcast. Okay? It is unbelievable to me. People are so arrogant, self-centered, and entitled wrongly that this entire pandemic thing, round 2, phase 2, part 2, is probably going to work out perfectly. And these imbeciles, we'll call them for brevity, these imbeciles, even if presented with the information like in a Clockwork Orange, will still defend the people pulling this enormous scamdemic off on America specifically, and I guess the whole world, but I'm an American, so I'm going to stick with America. These people, because of their egos and because of their, you know, if you're unattractive, unintelligent, unpopular, and you're still arrogant, you probably don't have the capability of learning new things. Do you see what I mean? We're surrounded by people like this, and I believe this was all cultivated through materialism, television, music. And with that all being said, I believe the elites, the people that have been watching us like mushrooms growing in a jar for the last several decades, I think they realized that we were, no pun intended, ripe for the picking. Sure, there's plenty of us. There's probably 100,000 of us or so. Maybe 1 million. But in the scheme of things, what is that? 0.03% or 0.3%? It's not enough to get critical mass, and they know it, and they're doing it again. It's amazing to me, man. Totally, utterly amazing to me. know what else is amazing to me is you guys know who you are. Leave it in the comments if you want. I don't care. But the amount of people that I meet that just try to walk up and say what's up, and I'm not cool the minute you meet me because I don't know what your intent is. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know what your intentions are. I came from a really, really fucked up life. The last 10 years I've really settled down. And it's sad because I was starting to learn my actual potential other than being able to build like this, building a truck, building a house, building a computer, building anything, and then building it better than the person that taught me. That's always been how I am. I get it from my father. Video editing, photography, just stuff like it, dealing with people and looking at things and figuring out the problems, etc. I know a lot of people think everything's a conspiracy theory, but that's on you. That is utterly, entirely, and totally on you. I'm one of the few channels that when I'll tell you something, as outlandish as it is, I'll leave the links to DARPA, CERN, Microsoft, Intel, you know what I'm saying? Gavia, Rockefeller Foundation. I leave all the links. That takes time, but I do it on purpose. Because people just, oh, that is utterly ridiculous. Yeah? Here's a 100-year-old report proving global warming is bullshit. Yeah, that was me. Here is a Bausch and Lomb and NASA patent from 1963 trying to build an artificial sun. And then all the others that went along with that. You know what I'm saying? It's just too bad that everything's going to get cut short. Because the entire reason for 2020 is to just exhaust Americans. Exhaust them and pinpoint us. The people that will be a problem. Not that we weren't already on a list, but we're definitely on a list. No two ways about that, man. I love people. Why I carry an old-fashioned phone so they can't track me? Come on, man. Look at what they use to deflect the sun's light back into outer space. Barium, strontium, aluminum. Look at the blood tests people have got and had lethal amounts of barium, strontium, and aluminum in their systems. Barium, strontium, and aluminum are not something that will organically end up in a human's hair sample or blood sample unless they've worked in a foundry that deals with barium, strontium, and aluminum for 20 years. It's not the case. They picked barium, strontium, and aluminum to spray the skies because it makes for a perfect antenna. Perfect human. Oh, that sucks. Pregnant lady on the side of the road getting sick. That sucks. Too hot for that. At any rate, I mean, I guess I'm just. It's just funny. It's just funny. The arrogance of people. When they use it at me, if I don't snap right back, because I can get mean fast. But because of someone else's feelings, I try not to. I could turn this person into a puddle, a whimpering, sniveling puddle. But I can't. I shouldn't, and I don't. But these arrogant, entitled, self-righteous, rude people. Rude is a weak person's imitation of strength. I know somebody that I deal with every day. That's them. I'm so important. You're a blithering idiot. Imbecile. No friends, no social skills whatsoever. Can't have it. Hi, how are you? I don't know. Of course you don't. You know, it's amazing. My bad. I've only been on the road 2 days. I've already run into 14 people that knew who I was. and were like, what's up? Anytime you need anything, I can't believe this is happening. You changed my... That's the thing that trips me out. You, Richie, brought me back to God, to Jesus. That is crazy to me. You helped wake up my family. And they're just so happy to meet you. It's weird taking selfie or pictures or whatever, but it's all good. I did my part. I tried. I mean, I told you this was coming the beginning of January, before it was even a thing. Based on MIT and Bill Gates Foundation paperwork. And we were dead nuts right. When I say we, I mean me and the voices in my head. They're going to escalate this. 4th of July will not be left unattended. 4th of July will come with an event. Why are they saying the Sahara sands are in the sky? I don't know. A buddy of mine down in Missouri said that the night sky is all effed up from that. In Missouri, the Saharan sands? Yeah, that ain't what it is. It's gonna get crazy, people. Be ready. There'll be a link in the comments to Patriot Pantry. Order anything you can that you can make with water, because food is going to be an issue. If they weren't going to use food, Kissinger wouldn't have said it back in the 70s or the 80s. And if they weren't going to use food, corporations wouldn't have consolidated all the food chains so that they can turn it on or off. But they did. Be ready, people. Richie from Boston. I love you all as much as I'm able.